Hi, Andres. Right after we finished our call today, I wanted to finish the exercise on my own time. So I did that, and now I wanted to share with you just me doing it, basically. So that's what I'm gonna do on this video. I'll try to be super quick, and if you can speed it up, of course, please do. If you want to jump through and just see the final code, also fine. Here's the data, the posts and the comments, and so I imported what I need for the instructions, which are here. I'm gonna try to move quickly. Hopefully I can do that. And so let's see. So first thing, I'm gonna get the URL for the posts, which is just a copy paste of this URL. Just gonna bring this one for later. Copy and put it here. All right, so URL for the posts, and now I want to make my response. So posts response equals a requests dot get URL posts. Okay, and so now that I have my response, I want to check that it's good. So standard if posts dot response dot okay, like that. All right. So now that I have that, I can create my JSON object. So posts JSON equals post response dot JSON. Okay, and now I have the JSON, and I know that it looks like this, which is it's a list of dictionaries, which means that I can create a data frame for it. So I'm just going to create that. So I'm going to call it the posts data frame equals pd.dataframe, and it's just posts JSON. I'm not going to change the index or anything because I don't think I'll need it for later. And I just want to check print posts data frame just to make sure it works. Right. Perfect. So user ID, title, body. So 100 rows, 4 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, perfect. All right. Not sure why it's truncating here, but okay. Seems like it has the 4 columns in there. Let me do dot head. If that changes. No, okay. Not sure why it's doing this now, but it seems like it's the correct. It's still fine. So, all right. I don't want to start fixing this and figuring it out and googling it on the video, so I'm just going to continue. And okay, so now I have my post data frame, and what I can do next is I can start getting my URL for the other one, which is this one. So the challenge is, like we saw in the call, that it varies, right? It's just like it's depending on this ID here. So I need to build my own URL and get the request for each URL, and so iterate through as many times as there are records here. I need to do the same thing for each message. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to loop for post in post.json, which is a list. So for each one of those records, I'm going to say my URL comments equals, paste this for now, and I'm making an F string here, and this is post because I want the ID, which changes 1, 2, 3, so it changes, not here, ID 1, 2, 3, so it changes each time for each iteration. All right, so if I print URL comments, then I should get a list of a bunch of URLs. If it were to work, let's see, what did I do wrong? Oh, the ID. All right, perfect, as expected. All right, so URL comments. What's next? Sorry, I'm gonna be quiet and just think for a second. Okay, yes, so now is the, yeah, okay, the response. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. So what are we gonna, comments response equals requests dot get URL comments. So that's going to give me that one. And okay, so comments dot JSON equals comments, so just to keep it neat here, creating another one. All right, so this is the trickier part, which is I need to add this to a data frame. But this is just one of the like one of these, so I have to create a data frame with these and keep appending it to the same data frame. So to do that, the way I did it before is I created an empty data frame that I'm going to call comments data frame equals pd.data frame, just empty. And now I'm going to say, so I'm going to add this to this instance, right, to a temporary data frame, like the instance that's coming in this JSON object. So I'm going to say pd.data frame comes with JSON. And then my final data frame is going to be comments data frame equals, and I'm going to append it with the concat function. And I'm going to say, okay, so this is a list of the different data frames I want to do. Comments data frame, comma, temp data frame. And now if I do print comments data frame, no, can't do this because it's going to print a million data frames, I think. I have to do it outside of the for loop, yes. Otherwise it'll print the same thing many times. Okay. So let's see if this works. Come on. Work, please. Okay, perfect. All right. So now it's printing the data frame and I see my email and all that stuff. All right. So now, okay, so now I have two data frames. Just gonna put them here in the names so don't forget, and comment data frame. What do I need to do? The next thing is validate the data. Okay, so for this, I'm just gonna check really quickly, like the shape, for example. Post data frame and just compare it, dot shape. No, is it a method? Oh. Print. I think this should work. This is posts. Alright, I'm not gonna do the other one just to speed it up. Oh, and I'm forgetting here this else. I'm not gonna put. I haven't really researched how to print out the exact error code. I'm sure it's like simple. I'm just gonna put error here. Okay. And all right, so the shape of the post is 100 by 4 and the other was 500 by 5. So the posts should be, okay, I'm not gonna scroll down here, but this should be, so if it's 100 by 4, 4 is correct. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if this is 100, then I guess if I do, okay, that works. And then if I do 101, I think it will not work. Yes, okay. Okay. So I just validated the shape at least. I could probably do the data types, D types, D types. I guess it's not really needed. Okay, and what else can I do? I can do, I can check for NAs, right? So I could say that my, let's see, the post data frame. Well, let's see what happened here. I'll have user ID int object, that makes sense, int, and then all of them strings. All right. So to check if there's any ID, for example, here, any of these IDs are blank, it's a simple filter. So let's see. So let's do the data frame. Just created this series ID dot is an A, and then so this will return a bunch of booleans, and then I can get this actual data frame posts data frame where the ID is an A. And so I expect that this wouldn't return anything, and I know it won't because I already did it. And if it did, then I would like kind of question it a little more before I upload it to the database, to the SQLite database. And so I would probably check, you know, a bunch of stuff here, also the post ID not being null, etc. Just for the sake of time, I'm not going to. The other thing I'm gonna do is, what happened here? Okay, so it returned nothing, an empty data frame. Perfect. The other thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change the email in here to lowercase. So for that, I'm gonna do comments data frame email equals, come on, copy. Dot. So it's a string method lower. And I think this should work with it's a method. Print comments data frame. Just to check. I'm gonna comment this out. I'm just gonna delete it, keep it cleaner. And this one too. I'm gonna keep it just for the final. Just gonna comment it out. Okay. So I should expect to see the emails all in lowercase. What else? Okay. Perfect. Okay, now it's the connection stuff. So for SQLite, the basic steps are create a connection equals SQLite dot connection. No, the connect. Yeah, the connect, and I want to name my let's name it pair team. I'll just do pair team rocks. Sí, ya estamos. Okay. Pair team rocks DB. Okay. And so now I have my connection, and the next thing is actually loading the data to it. Okay. So when I did this before, I did a function so that I wouldn't have to repeat the code of creating the toSQL statement, which is probably very short anyways, but let's see if I can remember this. So def create, all right, let's just do data frame to table, and the different what were the parameters is the connection. Let me just put them in order. SQLite. No, it's yeah. Okay, it's toSQL. Python toSQL. Yes. So name is the name of the SQL table. Perfect. So this is SQL table, comma, then connection, and then the data frame. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to say data frame dot toSQL, and it's the SQL table con, and then so in this data frame, we want to create a SQL table with this connection. Sorry, in this SQL table, we're not, yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. I think I needed to do, yeah, the if exists. If exists equals. Okay. I think that's correct. And now I can actually create my tables. So this is a horrible name, I think. So I'm just going to do toTable. Data frame to table. And so my SQL table name is going to be posts con, and the data frame is post data frame. The other one is comments. Okay. And then I forgot. So the SQLite execute query. Here. Alright, dot execute. So the connection. Again, I think I did the connect. Yeah. Okay, let's see. So result equals connection dot execute. Yeah, that's what I did. And it works. And so I'm gonna just do select star from, just to start, just to do it for now, print result, what is it? Yeah, fetch all. Missing something? Okay. Okay, so those seem to be, so those are the posts. Perfect. I didn't really look how to get it back in like render it in like tabular form here, and I'm sure it's possible. I just didn't spend time researching that. But let's see. Okay, so now I mean I could create like a more involved query. Let's just do it. So select start from posts. Let's go to P, and I'm not gonna format it nicely, but let's just say join comments C on C dot post, right? Post ID. Yes. Okay. So C dot post ID. Is that the name? No. Post ID equals P dot ID. Let's just make something simple. So by ID. Yeah, so the number of comments by ID. Let's just say count number. I think this will work. I don't know why I did that. I mean, anyways, just a different query, print, and I think the only thing missing for me is the connection. That close. So now it's okay. Is it with? Yeah. Oh. Oh, the ID is ambiguous. Okay, so it's P dot. By P dot. Is it ambiguous? Oh yeah, the comment ID. Okay, and I think that's it. So basically, just to summarize, importing the data. Okay, nice. So it returned. Oh yeah, they all have five comments per post. Summary. We import the we use the request library to get the URL, like to get the response basically in JSON format. And then since this one is dependent on the ID of the post one, the comment ones depend on the ID of the post, then I have to actually loop through each of the posts, get the correct URL, get the response for that specific URL. Then I need to, just get the JSON and then create a temporary data frame that only contains that specific ID, so that specific post ID. And then I'm gonna append it to an existing data frame that has from the previous iteration. So it continuously appends until it can't append anymore. And then, so now that I have my data frames, I just check the data, very simple checks. I would probably do more, I would definitely do more in production. Did a few checks on the shape of the data types, just to confirm that it matches the source that I can see online. And then I turn the email into lower string because it's just good practice. I don't need this print here. And then then create the connection with SQLite. Created a function to actually create the actual tables, so it's a little easier to write, even though you could argue that it's easier to write this than this, but that's fine. Maybe, yeah, I think I'm okay with this. And then the result is just the result of a specific query, and that's it. Got to close the connection at the end of the script. All right, thank you very much.